Welcome to lecture number 48 of Swayam BHU course on Fundamentals of Economics and Financial Markets. Myself, Dr. Anand Singh, and in this particular video, I will be discussing with all of you regarding National Stock Exchange. Now, in this particular video, I will be discussing with all of you on 7 major key points. Those key points are: point number 1, when and how NSE was established. In the second segment, I will be discussing with all of you regarding the objectives behind the establishment of NSE. In the third segment, I will be discussing with all of you regarding the important promoters of NSE. That means who were the main promoters behind the establishment of NSE. In the fourth segment, I will be discussing with all of you regarding the board of directors of NSE. That means who are the directors, or basically whether they are from the promoters itself or other entities are also basically participating in the board of NSE. In the fifth segment, I will be discussing with all of you regarding the market segments of NSE. Under this particular segment, three important market segments that is concerned with wholesale debt market, capital market, and the futures and options market. These three markets or these three segments will be discussed in detail. I will be discussing with all of you regarding the membership eligibility criteria at NSE. And in the last segment of this video, I will be discussing with all of you regarding the important indexes of NSE such as Nifty, Next 50 and so on. So let us start this video. In the first segment or in the first part, we will discuss regarding how and when NSE, that is National Stock Exchange, was established. NSE was incorporated in 1992 as per the provisions of Companies Act 1956 to increase transparency in the Indian equity markets. All of us knows that BSE was basically established in 1875 itself, but it was also seen that prior to 1992, whatever the stock markets or whatever the number of stock markets was there, or basically they were grouped under two major categories, that is voluntary association of persons and the company limited by guarantee. And it was observed by the regulatory bodies that both type of stock markets were not transparent. So the government of India, or you can say SEBI, they decided to establish a stock market such that, or that stock market will promote or increase transparency in the equity market. So with that particular purpose, NSE was established in 1992. It was recognized as a stock exchange by SEBI in April 1993. That means at the time of establishment of NSE in 1992, it was basically a public limited company which was established after fulfilling the provisions of Companies Act 1956. But in 1993, this NSE was recognized as a stock exchange by SEBI. NSE commenced operations as stock market in 1994. That means officially it commenced trading in the stocks from the year 1994. So we can say that NSE was established in 1992. In 1993, it was granted recognition as a stock market, and from 1994, it started trading in the stocks. Later on, the NSE became the first exchange in India to offer a fully automated screen-based trading system in 1994. It was also the India's first screen-based trading system. Later on, NSE also offered the first internet trading in India in 2000. Now let us discuss how NSE was established? That means what were the prevailing conditions on the basis of which NSE was established in our country? The Government of India constituted a high-powered committee, and the name of the committee was Establishment of New Stock Exchanges in India, and this particular committee was chaired by former UTI chairperson M.J. Fairwani. That's why this committee is also popularly known as Fairwani Committee. And the Government of India basically asked this committee to give its valuable recommendations that how the new stock markets or the new stock exchanges may be established in our country. So, Mr. Fairwani, who was basically former UTI chairperson, he strongly recommended for the establishment of NSE. He submitted his report in June 1991, and this study group strongly recommended that instead of trading membership being confined to a group of brokers, NSE ensured that anyone who is qualified, experienced and met the minimum financial requirements was allowed to trade. That means MJ Fairwani group, they clearly recommended the government that only few selected brokers, they should not be permitted to control the whole stock market. Actually, prior to the establishment of NSE, whatever the stock markets were operating, for example, Bombay Stock Exchange was there. So, all the stock markets which were operating in our financial system prior to the establishment of NSE, they were more or less governed by the brokers. They were basically controlled by the brokers. So, MJ Fairwani recommended that we should establish, or the government should permit the establishment of such kind of stock market where brokers should not be allowed to dominate. A group of certain brokers should not allowed to dominate over the market. That means they recommended that all such persons should be allowed to participate in the market who are possessing certain qualifications, who are possessing certain degrees, or who are possessing certain experience. That means they have experience of the market. That means all those persons who met certain requirements or the financial requirements, that means like the capital adequacy norms, those persons should also be allowed to participate in the market. And on the recommendations of MJ Fairwani Committee, NSE, that means National Stock Exchange, was established in our country. Now let us discuss what were the major objectives behind the establishment of NSE. Some of the major objectives are: point number 1, transparency. As stated by me earlier also, NSE was created to increase transparency in the Indian equity markets, because prior to this, that means prior to the establishment of NSE, all the stock markets, their mechanism was controlled by the brokers. Their mechanism was not 100% transparent. But as and when NSE was established, it started operating in the stock market in the year 1994, and in the same year, it basically introduced the screen-based trading system of NEAT, N-E-A-T. NEAT was basically launched by NSE, and it was the screen-based trading system of NSE which was launched in the year 1994. The second basic objective behind the establishment of NSE was fairness. That means NSE was established to provide a fair, efficient and transparent securities market. The third objective was access. That means NSE was established to provide equal access to investors across the country, and that's why NEAT was established. With the help of NEAT screen-based trading mechanism, equal access was given to all kind of investor. Earlier, when physical form of securities were traded, then equal access was not provided to all kind of investors. But after the introduction of NEET by NSE, basically an opportunity was given to all kind of investors. Equal access was basically granted to all kind of investors. The next important objective is liquidity. That means NSE was established to increase liquidity of securities. After the establishment of NSE, it was seen that there was a sudden rise in the liquidity of the securities. It was mainly because of the introduction of screen-based trading system and the transparent mechanism which was adopted by NSE. The next important objective is international standards. NSE was established to meet the global standards set for financial exchange markets. One of the major objectives behind the establishment of NSE was settlement cycles. That means NSE was established to enable faster settlement cycles and book entry settlements. All of us knows that nowadays the settlement cycle have been reduced to T+1, or even in few cases it is done in the same day itself. That means on the day of trading itself. But earlier it was once more than 60 days, then we got T+7 settlement, then T+3, T+2 and so on. But after the establishment of NSE, the objective in the mind of SEBI was to reduce the settlement cycle. One major objective is also concerned with the fraud reduction. NSE was established to reduce fraud in the tradings. Prior to 1991, just before the establishment of NSE in 1992, we can see that in 1991 itself, Harshad Mehta, a broker, was there who was deeply involved in the fraud or scams which was directly concerned with the stock market trading. Now, in order to stop such kind of stock frauds or stop the tradings, or basically in order to reduce such kind of frauds in the stock tradings, NSE was introduced or it was established so that the regulatory mechanism may properly supervise the activities which are conducted in the stock exchanges. Now let us discuss regarding the promoters of NSE. The promoters of National Stock Exchange of India are the State Bank of India, Life Insurance Corporation, that means LIC, GIC, SHCIL, that means Stock Holding Corporation of India Limited, and IDBI, that means Industrial Development Bank of India. So these were the major promoters, but as such large number of other promoters, other small promoters were also there. NSE, or when we discuss regarding the promoters of NSE, these promoters were basically the big domestic promoters. As such, there were some few foreign small promoters also. So they basically established NSE, or they contributed financially for the establishment of NSE. There are some of the key domestic investors that hold a stake in the NSE. That itself means besides these big players, there were also certain small players also who participated during the establishment of NSE. Within 1 year, that means within the establishment of 1 year or within the establishment of NSE started its operations, the daily turnover or NSE exceeded that of BSE. That means when NSE was established and started its trading in the year 1994, within a period of 1 year, that means till 1995, it crossed the tradings which were done by BSE. That stock market which was established long ago, because BSE was established in 1875, but the stock market which was established in 1992 which started its operations at stock market in 1994, it basically supersedes the operations of BSE in the year 1995-96 itself. So it was because of the strong promoters, it was because of the strong mechanism, it was because of the screen-based trading system which was implemented by NSE, and it was because of the transparent mechanism which was adopted by NSE. Also, the NSE is owned by a number of financial institutions including banks and insurance companies. So, its board of directors includes the members from the nominees of SEBI and the nominees of promoter institutions. Since large number of financial institutions and banks have contributed or they have played the role of promoters, so their participation is there or their nominees are there in the board of National Stock Exchange. Now let us discuss regarding the market segments of NSE. Some of the important market segments of NSE are: number 1, wholesale debt market. It is one of the most important and the oldest market segment of NSE. Under this particular market segment, a platform for trading fixed income securities like treasury bills, public sector undertakings bonds, state development loans and other securities are traded. The second important market segment concerned with NSE is capital market segment. Under this particular segment, a platform for trading equities, preference shares, debentures, exchange traded funds and retail government securities are provided by NSE. The third important segment of NSE is futures and options trading market. Under this particular market, a segment with products based on equity indices. That means under future and options trading, products based on equity indices are traded. The fourth important segment which is concerned with NSE is currency futures trading segment. This segment allows hedging of currencies risk on JPY, that is Japanese yen, and USD, that is US dollars. So this particular segment allows the hedging of currency risk on JPY and USD, etc. One of the major segment of NSE is interest rate derivatives. This segment comprises derivatives based on interest rates. Let us discuss regarding the membership eligibility criteria of NSE. Here we will discuss the eligibility criteria of members regarding three major market segments, that means wholesale debt market segment, capital market segment and future and options market segment. Also, we will discuss regarding the legal constitution in all these three markets, that means who can participate in these markets. Then we will discuss regarding the qualifications of those participants, that means what are the essential qualifications which must be possessed by those entities in order to participate in wholesale debt market or capital market or future and options market. Also, we will discuss regarding the capital adequacy norms. That means what is the adequate amount of capital that must be submitted by the intermediary in order to participate in all these three segments. So let us discuss one by one. Legal constitution, that means who can participate in wholesale debt market segment. Under wholesale debt market segment, the corporates, that means the body corporates, that means the companies are allowed to participate. Also, the banks, the banking companies are allowed to participate in the wholesale debt market, and the financial institutions are also permitted to participate in wholesale debt market segment. In capital market segment, we can see that the individuals, the private firms, the corporates, that means body corporates or companies, and financial institutions, all of them are permitted to participate in the capital market segment. Whereas in futures and options market segment, also all the individuals, the partnership firms, the companies, and the financial institutions are permitted to participate. Now let us discuss regarding the qualifications of the officials and experience that must be obtained by the participants. In the wholesale debt market, full-time directors of the companies, at least two of the directors must have 2 years experience. That means in case of a company, all of their full-time directors must have at least 2 years experience in banking and financial services. Then only they are allowed to participate in wholesale debt market segment. In order to participate in the capital market segment, minimum educational qualification and 2 years experience criteria must be fulfilled by at least 2 directors in the case of companies, 2 partners in the case of partnership firms, and that individual must possess such kind of qualification if it is a case of sole proprietorship. Now, in order to participate in futures and option market segment, all the participant must possess the minimum educational qualification and 2 years experience criteria must be fulfilled by at least 2 directors in the case of companies, 2 partners in the case of partnership firms, and the sole proprietor in the case of the individuals. Similarly, let us discuss regarding the capital adequacy norms in case of wholesale debt market segment. The paid up equity capital must be rupees 10 crore and the applicant's equity capitalization should not be less than 25 crore. In the case of capital market segment, the net worth requirement for all trading members at NSE is rupees 1 crore. And for futures and options market segment, the net worth of more than 75 crore in last 3 preceding financial years. Also, the paid up equity capital of at least 10 crore at the time of filing the application form. That means at the time of filling the application form, the paid up equity capital of the participant should not be less than rupees 10 crore and the applicant's net worth should be more than 75 crore continuously during the last 3 preceding financial years. Now let us discuss regarding the trading days and time at National Stock Exchange. That means what are the timings regarding tradings. The normal trading time for National Stock Exchange is from 9:15 am to 3:30 pm from Monday to Friday. That means it is officially opened on Monday to Friday and the official trading times, the normal trading times are 9:15 am to 3:30 pm. But traders can buy and sell their orders without any restrictions during this period. That means during the period of 9:15 am to 3:30 pm, all the traders, they can sell or they can buy in any concerned listed stocks without any kind of restriction. NSE is closed on every Saturday, Sunday and the gusted holidays except for any special trading sessions that are announced. For example, during Diwalis, we have seen that Muhurat trading is basically conducted by the stock exchanges. So, except such kind of special trading days, especially on every Saturday, on every Sunday and on every gusted holiday, these stock markets or NSE is basically officially closed. NSE pre-open sessions are 15-minute in duration, which is from 9 am to 9:15 am. That means before the regular trading hours, which started from 9:15 am, basically prior to that, a 15-minute period is regarded as a pre-open session. Now, this particular session, that means from 9 am to 9:15 am, contains the order matching period and order collection period. So, we can see that, or we can say that from 9 am to 9:15 am, pre-open order is there, but regular trading can't be done during that particular period. But from 9:15 to 3:30 pm, regular trading without any restriction may be done by the traders. Let us discuss regarding some of the important indexes which are prepared and displayed by NSE. Some of the important indexes are Nifty, which basically represents the top 50 companies which are listed with the NSE. Nifty Bank, it represents the banking sector. Nifty Auto Index, it basically represents the automobile sector. Nifty Financial Services Index, it basically represents the financial sector. Nifty IT, it represents the IT stocks. Nifty Next 50, it basically indicates the stocks which are listed, or the top 50 stocks which are listed with NSE after the first 50. That means from 51 to 100. Those indexes are prepared under Nifty Next 50. First 50 is Nifty, and thereafter the remaining 50 are regarded as Nifty Next 50. Nifty 100 index, Nifty 200, Nifty 500, etc. indexes are also prepared and displayed by NSE. Now let us discuss regarding Nifty. Nifty stands for National Stock Exchange 50, and it was introduced on 21st April 1996. That means NSE was established in 1992, and it was granted recognition as stock market in 1993, and it started operations as a stock market from 1994. But this index, that means the most popular index of NSE, that is Nifty, it was displayed for the first time on 21st April 1996. Nifty is the index of NSE of India and represents the performance of the top 50 companies. So, it is also popularly known as Nifty 50 or S&P CNX Nifty. Here, S&P basically indicates the Standard and Poor, C indicates CRISIL, and NX basically indicates the NSE index Nifty. Nifty 50 follows the trends and patterns of blue chip companies. That means the most liquid and largest Indian securities. Nifty is reconstituted every 6 months and considers the performance of a stock over such periods. That means once the Nifty stocks, that means the top 50 companies which are listed over NSE, they are recognized, their indexes will be prepared and displayed by NSE. But a review is basically made after every 6 months. A review regarding their performance is made, and on the basis of their performance, the Nifty 50 constituents or the top 50 companies are again decided. NSE Nifty represents the dollar version of Nifty. Now let us discuss regarding the eligibility criteria for Nifty index listing. Some of the eligibility criteria are: point number 1, the company must be an Indian company registered under Companies Act 1956 or 2013 and registered with NSE, and its stocks must be available for trading in NSE's future and options segment. Criteria number 2 is stock must possess high liquidity and must have a high trading volume. The third criteria is the company must meet a minimum market capitalization criteria portfolio of at least rupees 10 crore. And the fourth and last eligibility criteria is shares with differential voting rights are also eligible. Here I have also mentioned regarding the fifth criteria, but as such it is not a criteria, it is compulsory and it has been adopted by NSE. Now let us discuss regarding this particular point. From 26th June 2009, Nifty is calculated through free float market capitalization method. Earlier, that means prior to 2009, we have already discussed that Nifty was launched from 1996. From 1996 to 2009, basically the market capitalization weighted method was used to calculate the index Nifty. But from 26th June 2009, the free float market capitalization method is used. In the next video, I will be discussing with all of you regarding Bombay Stock Exchange. So, very thanks for watching this video.